Hi, this is Tim Haft with Shana Brady from Punk Rope, and today's video is about how to increase your jump rope endurance. We've been getting a lot of questions lately from folks who are only able to jump, say, 30 seconds. I shouldn't say only, because that's great. And they want to go for a minute. And there are people who are able to go for a minute, and they want to go for 2. And then there's folks who can go for 5, they want to go for 10, and 15 to 30, and you get the idea. So there is a very methodical approach to this, and Shana's going to show you our methodology. And so the first thing, guys, is to figure out where you're at right now, realistically, and how long would you like to jump for. So let's say you're a complete beginner. Let's say Shana just picked up her rope for the very first time. And after jumping for, say, 20 seconds, she is winded, right? So she gets into her jump. And this is a simulation. She doesn't normally jump this way. And 20 seconds in, there's a miss, and there's fatigue, and her heart rate is going up, and everything starts to fall apart. All right, so what are you going to do? Well, what you need to figure out is how long can you jump for presently with good form without unnecessary fatigue. And that should be the length of your intervals at this point in time. And then after that, you're going to recover. And Shana's going to show you a couple of ways to recover. So one would be with a side swing, which is the slightly more advanced version, where the rope is shifting from side to side, your hips are swaying. And she's moving a little bit forward back to break up the monotony and get into a better flow. Another option would be to take both handles in one hand and to switch hands periodically to work on coordination. So this is the windmill swing with a switch, or you could do the crossover swing. Now that's with both hands. You could also do a crossover swing with just one hand. So both handles in one hand, crossing over and back, across the midline and back. So that's going to be your recovery. That way you stay active with the rope while you're bringing your heart rate back down a little bit. And presumably once you're done with your recovery period, you're ready to jump again. So we've been working with a bunch of students, all who have different goals. And we noticed that for some of them, when they got to a certain point in their set, they really were fatigued and they started missing and getting frustrated, and that's not fun. So again, what you want to do is think about where you are now and be conservative. So let's say Shana was a complete beginner. She could set her timer, which is somewhere, or maybe you have a interval timer on your phone or your watch, and she could set it for as little as, say, or a clock on the wall.
What I used to do.
She could set it for as little as 15 seconds. Now that may not sound like much, but perhaps at this stage 15 seconds is still a challenge. And again, you want to maintain good form throughout the work set, so you take yourself out of the bad habits. And then after those 15 seconds, what we would recommend for someone who's just beginning is a 15-second rest interval, or even possibly 30. But 1-to-1 ratios are usually good when you're just starting out. Obviously, if you feel really fatigued and you're not recovering after 15 seconds, then you want to increase your rest interval. So it's going to be a little bit of trial and error. But I would say over maybe the course of a week or two, you'll nail down your formula and you know it works for you. And then to increase your endurance, your stamina, we would suggest you up your work time by no more than about 10% per week, right? So if you were jumping 10 minutes, you could go to 11 minutes and so on. That's not hard and fast, but it's a good rule to keep yourself safe. So Shana's going to jump again a little bit, and
do we use our 1-to-1 rest ratio, 15 seconds?
yeah, let's use our 15 seconds.
Since that's what I said. I feel like I
You
should
can use our
have
15 seconds.
A whiteboard for this.
Now, one thing that you want to, so here we go, right? Ready, set, and go. So this would be your work interval. So again, maintaining good form. Now this is basic balance, but don't feel like you have to stick with one step. And in fact, it's generally not a good idea. There you go, and that's rest period. So this would be side swing. Or and then when you hear that beep again, it's time to go back up. And maybe this time you go with a different step. So the danger of doing the same step repeatedly throughout your workout is overuse, which increases the risk of injury. Remember, the beauty of rope jumping is there are so many steps. There's really an infinite number. You have so many possibilities. And each step is going to work your body in a slightly different way. So we encourage you to take advantage. Here we have the side straddle. It's also going to make your workout a lot more fun. You have more variety, less chance to get bored. And then this is rest.
On the last, we'll do one more. If you can teach yourself to pass the rope with one hand when you feel like you're getting tired, that's great.
There we go. Here's alternating foot.
Feels right. Right. I'm gonna pass it to my right hand, and then, or I have an itch on my nose. That not only is helpful, and I rest again.
Okay. Good work. So guys, again, here are the basic principles of increasing your jump rope endurance. First, try to determine how long you can jump for right now, realistically, with good form, before fatigue sets in or form breaks, and then set your rest interval for either about the same amount of time if you're a beginner. If you're more advanced, of course, it can be less time than your work set. Think about what your ultimate objective is. Do you want to jump for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Remember to vary your steps. Remember during your rest to swing your rope, whether it's the side swing, the crossover swing, the windmill swing, through the legs, behind the back, what have you. You want to stay active with your rope. It's going to keep your momentum going and keep your flow going. And then again, as you progress, try to keep your volume increases to roughly 10% per week. May not sound like much, but over a couple of months, you'd be surprised. You'll start to increase significantly. And we think this is going to work well for you. So thanks for joining us. Feel free to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. If you have questions about how to increase your endurance or anything else jump rope related, jot them down in the comments below and we'll answer them as soon as we can. All right, guys, have a great day. Stay healthy, stay safe.